to make a show-stopping crown pork roast with mulled wine cranberry relish is chef and founder of Salt and Wind and our very good friend Aida Mollenkamp. Welcome back, Aida. Oh boy! Before we get started, we're going to turn that down. My goodness! So this really is very impressive when you make a crown pork roast.
Yes.
This is not just for your regular Tuesday night, but you love making it, right?
It's for my regular Tuesday night. But
This is much more fancy than mine. You love making this for the holidays.
I do. I mean, who has made the main meat dish during the holidays? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Intimidating, right?
Very intimidating.
Yeah, I've never made that.
Like maybe you've spent some money and
Right.
you're not sure,
that
and you just like have anxiety and you call your therapist. So instead, what you can do is get some pork roast because it's affordable. It's pretty, easy. Like it will work with you, and it's gorgeous.
I didn't realize that pork came in this because I've seen it with lamb and with prime rib, but never with pork.
So do you have to ask your butcher for this one?
You do. You
Okay.
do. You want to order this, actually all of them. Pork, beef, lamb. If you're going to do a crown roast, call your butcher, ask them to do it for you. And if you look at it closely, you'll notice, as it looks on your plates, it's actually pork chops. And they're just all connected as the pork loin, so it's also known as a bone-in pork loin.
Okay.
And then they just tie it together like so it looks like a crown, and then the king of your feast gets to wear it at the end of
How
the night.
beautiful. You're probably going to wear it around your waist, though, and your hips.
Well,
not on your
actually,
head,
this is
I
a
hope.
really lean cut of meat.
Oh,
and
good.
what you should know, though, is this is just aesthetics purely. So, LZ, this is for you.
Thank you.
This has nothing to do with how the actual roast turns out. It's like, doesn't affect the flavor or anything.
At all.
Got it.
But it's just gorgeous.
Well,
Is it
it
much
has
less
a big impact on the table, I'll tell you that, when you bring that
Yes,
to the
it
table.
Right?
does. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think, Larissa?
You can carve it.
It's good. You like it.
I like it.
You're quiet over there. That's what I'm saying.
delicious.
The only one at the counter not speaking. All right, so we rub it down
Yes.
with a special rub. What exactly is in this rub?
Well, you're going to like this because it's all the herbs you're used to using already on your holiday table. We've got sage, parsley, and thyme.
Perfect.
Ground up together in the blender with some garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then the thing you got to do is just make sure it gets in every single little bit and bob. Just don't put it on the bones.
Okay.
Because you don't want those to burn or
And this is going to be
anything.
very generous as well.
Very, very generous. And what I like to do is do this an hour before I put it in the oven,
Okay.
and then just let it sit out, and it gets all flavorful and
Right.
delicious. I would recommend doing this on a cutting board and then putting it on your wire rack for the oven so that you don't have burned bits of
it
the
gets
rub.
messy.
But yeah, this could also be used on any kind. I know you love lamb. This would
Yeah,
be really good
so
with some
good on
lamb as
lamb.
well. This rub.
And do you cover the bones with aluminum foil before you put it in?
You can. I mean, so the way that I do this is a little different from other roasts, and I roast it very low temp. And so that means it's not going to burn as much, so you don't really have to worry about it unless you're like trying to get the perfect Instagram. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's going to be okay.
All right, so we'll move this off.
Yes.
And we put this in the oven. Oh my goodness, she's heavy.
Yes.
For-
I got it.
Wow.
I've been working out for this one. And squats.
Nice. How long does she go in?
Double duty.
Okay, so the key about this is if you said you've done roast before,
Yeah.
and you usually start high temp and then go
Yeah.
low temp.
Right.
No, let's not do that anymore. Instead,
Okay.
go low temp and go high temp later, and this is why. Low temps, 250, all good barbecue.
250?
That's
All good
really low.
barbecue.
Low
Around
and slow.
250.
Low and slow, yeah.
And you do it for about an hour 45.
Okay.
You want to get it to 140 degrees.
Okay.
And then you can bring it out, let it sit for about 15, 30 minutes while you get the table all set with
Okay.
your perfect little ornament and the decorations. And then you put it back in at 500 for 10 minutes until it's nice and
And that
crispy.
also
Yeah.
reheats
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
And it's going to
And
look
then it
like
looks
this
like
right
this.
here.
Look how beautiful that is.
That's what it looks like.
That is beautiful. That is so beautiful.
And we could just serve it like this, and it would be as delicious and juicy as any other roast. But why do that when we can make your beautiful cranberry relish?
I love this cranberry relish, I'm not gonna lie. And it starts with this right here that you saved, that you took off the burner. And so
Okay.
it's just red wine and some maple syrup that we've reduced down.
That's why it smells so
It did
good.
smell
Right, it smells like holiday potpourri or
amazing.
something. So,
Now, any kind of red wine?
good enough that you would drink it, not so good that you're gonna cry when it's getting reduced down and not in your
Okay, got it.
So
yes.
like maybe not the Premier Cru that you got in France on your honeymoon.
All
or
right.
something. You want to add in a little bit of some cinnamon to make it extra special holiday flavor. And then I always use citrus because I'm a California girl. And so any kind of citrus that I happen to have on hand, I'll put into this.
Okay.
So if it's tangerines, if it's mandarins, if it's whatever, just don't put grapefruit because that would be too sour.
Okay.
And then throw in a little bit of
the-
the zest.
That's
And then
beautiful. The
cinnamon's
zest is what
healthy.
really does it.
The cinnamon
Very
is
healthy.
healthy.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you,
It adds
none
health.
of this is really, all of this is very good for you.
This is
It's a
very good
lean
for you.
meat.
Yeah.
It's true.
There's nothing about this that would be bad for you.
I've been told these are superfruits. I don't
They
know what
are.
that really is, but you know.
Cranberries are so good for you.
So you could just have these for this recipe, but I also use this recipe for an appetizer. And for the appetizer, I would make sure that you slice it.
Okay.
So what I do as an appetizer is I take crostini, because I'm Italian and that's what we do, and then you top it with either really good ricotta or whipped goat cheese, as in goat cheese
Yummy.
in the food processor, 1-2 pulses. And then you top it with this, and it is magic. It's
And
really
that
good
color
stuff.
is beautiful.
And the color's gorgeous. So
Well, this just alone would be a great cranberry sauce.
yes, but the reason it's not a sauce and it's a relish is because you stop cooking it now.
Okay.
And you don't keep cooking it until it like reduces
Pops.
down.
Yeah.
You don't want them to pop. Instead, what I would do is put this off to the side, let it cool down,
Okay.
and then the last two pieces are these guys right here.
So do we put it in the fridge to let it cool? or-
Exactly, which
Oh
is
my
where you
goodness.
have the next version of it.
I would eat that. That's beautiful.
So
You're
it's
going to. You're going to in a second, yeah. I was going to say, in a moment, yeah.
So you have a little bit of.
Yummy.
I work in Mexico, and so I'm always, California, Mexico, my two favorite places. So I'm always adding in jalapeno where I can. So I put both diced red onion and jalapeno in here.
The onion adds like a nice little crunch to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Really lovely.
But you want to add it at the end, because if you add it too early, it gets too oniony, and if you add the jalapeno too early, you don't have it spicy anymore. So
Right.
this is the kind of thing you could do 2-3 days in advance. Everything except that last step I just
So
did
yummy.
there.
And I think Ken is going to be making this for Christmas because I can see how intense he is looking.
I am.
He's
No,
taking
he's
his
watching
glasses
carefully.
off.
I love it because
taking notes?
nothing says classic Christmas to me than a crown roast.
You're going to do this. I know you are.
I am.
Oh my! And look, by the way, this is good. This is very good to see because it is very easy to cut.
And I
Right.
do want to say that there is a little bone down here at the bottom.
Okay, let's move
that
that so you can show everybody.
you have to get through.
Kinda
So
go through.
if you ask your butcher to take out the chine, chine, then this would be a little bit easier to get
There
through.
you go. But look at it.
But it's really not
Put a
that
little.
hard.
That's beautiful.
And that's
You mentioned
that.
Mexico, California. We know you travel a lot. You've got some pretty exciting destinations planned for 2019 for your, what is it, food and wind trips?
Salt and
Excuse
wind.
me,
You
salt
need
and
salt
wind
for food to
trips.
taste good when
That's
you get
what
places.
it
So-
was.
Oh, that's where the name
Nice.
comes
Isn't that a
And
good
so
idea?
I work down in Mexico and Italy, and I love going there to get inspired by food and cooking, and so I've brought people with me. So we go shopping for shirts like this.
Yes.
Do we all get to come?
I'm people. I see lots of people
What's
here.
the invite?
We get wine, we make food. It's really fun. So we're going to 9 destinations, all within Mexico and Italy next year.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
And maybe you and I could start joining one to Greece someday. I don't know.
God, Debbie, I mean, you had Debbie
I
with
think we
the
should shoot
crown
the
roast,
show
but
in
now-
Greece.
Oh,
We can have a crown roast in Greece together on a salt and wind. You guys.
Oh, Aida, now you're talking about language. We're going to put that there for
You guys
everyone
have
to
a
see.
bite
We are
of
going to
that
dig
now.
in.
Everybody, the full recipe, of course, will be available at hallmarkchannel.com. And for more from Aida, head over to
Oh, my goodness.
saltandwind.com.